Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have seriously become one of those couples where every public appearance feels like damage control at this point. And honestly, the timing of all these rumors coming out right after Harry's Ukraine trip is not helping them at all. Because while Harry was out there getting positive press, Meghan was getting dragged online again. And people immediately started connecting the dots. Now, here's the thing that really got people talking. Reports started circulating that Harry allegedly moved parts of his finances around to protect his inheritance and personal wealth. And the second those stories hit the internet, royal gossip channels completely exploded. Because people instantly took that as a sign that Harry might already be preparing for a possible split behind the scenes. And whether that's true or not, you have to admit it's weird timing. What makes this even messier is the money conversation. A lot of people online genuinely believed Meghan would automatically walk away with half of Harry's royal fortune if they ever divorced. But legally, inheritance money is usually treated very differently, especially in California. So now people are saying Meghan may have seriously overestimated what she could actually get if things went south. And that's where the gossip has gotten absolutely brutal lately, because critics are basically saying Harry was smarter than everyone thought. At the same time, Harry's recent UK appearances and this sudden push to reconnect him with royal circles have people raising eyebrows. Because for years, the story was that he wanted absolutely nothing to do with royal life anymore. Now, suddenly, he's traveling with heavy royal media coverage again. Palace-friendly press is back around him. And there's this growing narrative that King Charles still wants Harry back in some form. Maybe not fully as a working royal, but definitely closer than before. And if you've been watching Harry and Meghan lately during appearances together, the vibe honestly feels different. I'm not even trying to exaggerate it. The body language just feels forced sometimes. They hold hands constantly, but there's barely any natural chemistry anymore. It almost feels like they're trying very hard to prove something to the public. That's why divorce rumors keep getting stronger every few months instead of dying down. Then you've got all the Hollywood problems stacked on top of it. Their Spotify deal collapsed. The Netflix hype clearly cooled off compared to what people expected in the beginning. Meghan's projects keep getting mixed reactions online. And the big "we're going to build a billion-dollar media empire" dream honestly doesn't look the same anymore. Back in 2020, people thought these two were about to dominate Hollywood. Now it feels way more uncertain. One thing I will say though, a lot of these royal gossip channels go way too far with conspiracy theories. Some of the claims about Meghan's past, her age, the children, all that stuff. It gets ridiculous fast. People online treat rumors like confirmed facts way too easily now. And honestly, that's part of why this whole Harry and Meghan situation became such a nonstop circus in the first place. Every single move they make turns into another giant internet debate. But still, you cannot deny that something feels off lately. Harry looks exhausted all the time now. Meghan keeps getting backlash every few weeks. The royal family still feels divided. And now financial protection rumors are entering the conversation, too. That's why people are obsessed with this story again. Because whether you support them or not, this marriage suddenly feels way less stable than it did a couple years ago. Prince Harry honestly looks like somebody who has been carrying stress for years now. And people really started noticing it again during that Ukraine visit. Because the second those photos came out, the internet immediately compared the energy around Harry there versus the energy whenever he's back in California with Meghan Markle. And I'm telling you, royal watchers notice everything. The facial expressions, body language, who looks relaxed, who looks uncomfortable, all of it. What made the situation even more interesting was how coordinated the whole trip looked. A lot of people online were calling it a surprise visit, but then royal reporters were already there covering everything perfectly. Palace-connected journalists were following the story closely. The headlines were positive, and suddenly Harry was being framed as this serious humanitarian figure again. That's why some people think Buckingham Palace quietly helped make the trip happen smoothly behind the scenes. Because let's be real, the palace knows exactly how media optics work. And meanwhile, back in California, Meghan was getting hit with another wave of criticism over her projects and public image. That contrast made everything look even worse. One side had Harry, surrounded by serious political coverage and royal-style attention. The other side had people online arguing about failed deals, low audience interest, and whether Hollywood is slowly distancing itself from the Sussex brand altogether. The money side of the story is where things really get nasty, though. Because now people are saying Harry allegedly realized that if things ever collapsed publicly, he needed to protect what's actually his, especially inheritance money connected to Princess Diana and the royal family. And honestly, if those rumors are true, that's a huge deal because critics have spent years claiming Meghan's entire strategy was built around status, fame, and securing long-term wealth through Harry. Now, personally, I think some people absolutely exaggerate Meghan into this cartoon villain online. They blame her for literally everything Harry does, which is ridiculous because Harry made his own choices, too. But at the same time, I do think Harry probably underestimated how brutal life outside the royal system would actually become. When they first left the UK, they probably imagined unlimited opportunities, endless support from Hollywood, giant media success, and total freedom. Instead, it turned into nonstop controversy every month. And the public image problem just keeps getting worse because every appearance feels overly managed now. Every photo looks staged. Every interview creates another argument online. Even when they try to look happy together, people immediately start dissecting it frame by frame. That's why those divorce rumors never fully disappear anymore. Once the public starts sensing tension in celebrity relationships, it becomes impossible to stop that conversation. Then there's the whole royal return angle, which honestly might be the biggest issue of all, because if Harry seriously wants some kind of connection back with the royal family long-term, that creates a massive complication. A lot of royal fans genuinely believe the palace would rather deal with Harry alone than Harry and Meghan together again. Whether that's fair or unfair, that's clearly the perception online right now. And I think Meghan probably understands that, too. Because if Harry slowly rebuilds relationships with King Charles or Prince William over time, where exactly does that leave her? Especially after everything that happened publicly with interviews, documentaries, accusations, and family drama. You can't throw gasoline on the royal family for years and then expect everything to magically reset overnight. At the same time, Harry also looks stuck between two worlds now. He left royal life to build independence, but Hollywood hasn't exactly become the dream scenario people expected either. So now he's in this awkward position where he doesn't fully fit back into royal life, but he also doesn't fully fit into the celebrity billionaire world they were trying to create in America. And honestly, that tension is starting to show more than ever lately. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle basically went from being the most talked about power couple in the world to becoming one giant question mark. And I think that's why people are still obsessed with the story. Not because everything is perfect, but because everything feels unstable all the time now. When Harry and Meghan first left the royal family, people genuinely thought they were about to build something massive. Huge Netflix deals, Spotify deals, magazine covers everywhere, celebrity connections, billion-dollar branding. It looked unstoppable for a while. But fast forward a few years later, and the momentum just doesn't feel the same anymore. Every new project comes with controversy before it even launches. Every interview creates another fight online. And honestly, people are starting to get exhausted by the constant drama around them. The financial rumors made everything worse because now the conversation has shifted from Harry and Meghan versus the royal family to Harry quietly preparing an exit plan. That's why those reports about protecting inheritance money blew up so fast, because whether true or not, people immediately believed it. And that says a lot about how the public currently views this marriage. At the same time, Harry's behavior lately has been interesting, too. He looks way more comfortable during solo appearances now compared to when he's constantly doing public couple moments with Meghan. You notice it in interviews, speeches, even small clips online. He seems more relaxed when he's operating alone. And people absolutely picked up on that after the Ukraine trip. The press coverage suddenly felt very Prince Harry again, instead of the Harry and Meghan brand. Meanwhile, Meghan still seems determined to stay visible in celebrity culture, but the public reaction has become incredibly mixed. Some people still support her strongly, obviously, but there's also a huge audience now that instantly rolls their eyes every time she launches something new. And fair or unfair, that backlash affects everything connected to them financially, too. One thing I do think is true, though, if a divorce ever actually happened, it would become one of the biggest celebrity scandals in years because there's way too much history attached to this relationship now. Royal family drama, Oprah interviews, documentaries, books, family accusations, Hollywood politics, leaked stories. It would turn into absolute chaos overnight. Every media outlet on Earth would cover it nonstop. And honestly, I think both Harry and Meghan know that, too. That's probably one reason they still push the United so hard publicly, because once cracks officially appear, the entire narrative around them changes permanently. Suddenly, people start revisiting everything from the beginning. The royal exit, the family fallout, the media war, all of it. But the biggest problem for them right now might actually be trust. Public trust, Hollywood trust, even family trust. Once people start questioning your authenticity constantly, it becomes almost impossible to control the narrative anymore. Every move starts looking strategic instead of natural. That's exactly where Harry and Meghan seem stuck now. And despite all the gossip, I honestly think Harry probably misses parts of his old life. More than he admits publicly. Not necessarily the royal duties themselves, but the structure, the familiarity, the people he grew up around. Because whatever anyone says about the royal family, that world was still his entire identity for most of his life. Walking away from that completely was never going to be simple emotionally. Now, the real question is whether this is just another rough phase for them, or whether the pressure is finally becoming too much behind the scenes. Because the rumors are getting louder, the public appearances feel more calculated than ever. And the financial stories are starting to paint a picture that people can't stop talking about. And if things really are falling apart privately, then honestly, we probably haven't even seen the craziest part of the story yet.